こんにちは。アルファアドバイザーズの坂下です。今日はインシアードですね。かねてからお知らせしていた通り、インシアードのマスターインマネジメントというプログラムについてお話ししていこうと思います。で、今日のセッションは、特にですね、大学生とか大学院生の方、あとは、社会人の比較的まだ年次が若い方ですね、2年目とか3年目、4年目ぐらいまでの方は、もうぜひ見ていただきたいと思ってます。で、ぜひね、そういった方が、マッキンゼーとか、GAFA とか、ゴールドマンサックスとか、もう世界のグローバルトップカンパニーに行くための、最強ルートということでタイトルにもありますけれども、まさに今日お話しいただきますけれども、卒業生の方がですね、本当に名だたる企業に、バンバン入っているというプログラムになります。で、インシアードは皆さんもご存知の通り、世界のトップビジネススクールで、そこで MBA とかに、ね、行かれている方もたくさんいるんですけれども、今日はさらに若手向けの、MBA ライクなビジネスとかテクノロジーとかが学べるプログラム、それがマスターインマネジメントっていう今日ご紹介するやつですね。なので、ぜひ、本当にインシアートとかに行けば、もうステータスもね、かなりつきますし、今、日本でも大学院を卒業して、そのまま海外の大学院に行くっていう方が、ものすごい勢いでアルファに来てます。で、それは日本で東大とか、慶応とか、早稲田とか、一橋とかですね、京大とか、いわゆる学歴でもかなりトップを走ってきたよねっていう人たちであっても、今日お話しするようなマッキンゼーとか、ゴールドマンとか、あと GAFAM とか、それから現地の就職ですね、シンガポールとか、ヨーロッパとか、そういったところには、直にはね、なかなか行けない時代にもうなっていますので、そういうのを察知している方なんかは、もう早くからアルファに来ていただいて、大学卒業したらすぐ大学行きたいということで、準備している方もたくさんいます。で、逆に言うと、もちろん学歴があんまり自信がないっていう方も、グローバル経験をとって、一気にそういった、日本でいう学歴エリートみたいな人たちを超えていけますし、逆にもうすでに学歴がね、結構日本でも頑張って学歴取ってますよみたいな方は、グローバル経験をね、しかもインシアードみたいな、もう世界で去年とかは MBA トップですね、1位とかになってましたし、トップランクの大学院でビジネスとかテクノロジーとか学んでいたよとなったら、もう最強人材になっていけると思いますので、ぜひ日本の大学生、大学院生の方、あとは若手社会人の方、もう早くグローバルに行けば行くほどですね、早くキャリアが高く止まっていくことになるので、ぜひちょっとでも興味がある方は、まずはご相談いただければと思います。で、一応ですね、今日はアドミッションの方が参加しているので、英語のセッションになります。で、インシアード興味あるなとか、まだ全然受けるとか決めてないし、別に全然まだ受けると決めてない方もですね、将来のキャリア決めてない方も、下の YouTube のコメント欄に登録フォームを置いておきますので、そちらに登録いただければ、情報とかね、早く行くようにしたり、あとは優先的に無料相談でプログラムの説明したりもできますので、ぜひご興味がある方は、まずは登録フォームに登録していただければと思います。で、実際にもう受けたいなっていうときは、アルファ個別指導、アルファからですね、お墨付きというか、こういう人が行きますよっていうことで、アドミッションの方に、こちらからも、推薦というかですね、プッシュして、リファレンスしてたりもするので、ぜひね、ご興味がある方は、登録フォーム入れておいていただければと思います。で、今日はセッションは英語になるんですけれども、日本語でも構いませんので、コメント欄にどんどん質問とかコメントとか入れていただければと思います。はい。では、ちょっと今日はですね、実際にここにも出てますけれども、アドミッションのジェニファーさんと、あとはアルファ代表の入住さんとで進めていきます。で、ジェニファーさん、MBA のね、アドミッションもしてらっしゃるので、MBA の今日説明ではないんですけど、MBA に興味があるよという方も、インシアードのプログラム、インシアード自体のご説明もしていただけるので、ぜひね、皆さん最後まで見ていただければと思います。はい。入住さんね、ついにインシアードの MIM のアドミッションが来てくださって、もう今、大学生とか大学院生とかすごい勢いで、ハルトさんとかね、結構よくやってるので、なかなか認知もされてきていく方も多いんですけど、インシアードもね、本当にトップスクールなので、ぜひ行ったらもう最強人材になって、早々にキャリアで勝ち上がれると思いますよね。
そうですね。やっぱりファーストキャリアがすごい大事なのは多分皆さんだいぶ分かってきたと思いますし、日本の場合はやはりすごく偏差値の高い学校に東大とか総計とか宮廷とか行ってたとしてもグローバル経験がないばっかりにその外資系とか落とされたり あとは商社を落とされたりして、悔し涙をこう飲んだ人っていうのは結構少なからずいらっしゃって、我々も非常にたくさんのご相談をいただくんですけれども、やっぱりすごい単純に言うと、もう、やはりその皆さんが目指しているグローバル企業とかグローバルトップ企業というのは、グローバル経験なしでは、もしくは、ビジネスとかテクノロジーの勉強を、英語でするという経験なしにはですね、なかなか取ってくれない時代になってきてるし、逆に言うと、それさえ取れれば、皆さんでもマッキンゼーとか BCG とか Google とか、ゴールドマンとかモルサとかですね、ブラックロックとか、三菱商事とか三井物産とかですね、どういうですね、グローバル企業でも入るチャンスがあると。で、この MBA に行くっていうのは、多分いろんな方がいらっしゃるんでいいんですけれども、やっぱりファーストキャリアをマキシマイズするっていうのは非常に大事なそのキャリア戦略でして、もうすでにね、そこを取ってきて、もう30歳になりましたとか40歳になりましたとか、そういう人たちもアルファにはたくさん来てくれるんで、そういう人たちはそういう人たちの逆転のシナリオがあるんですけれども、まだそれこそ今大学4年生で、もうなんか就活あんまうまくいかなかったなとかですね、社会人の1年目、2年目、3年目ぐらいの方で、なんか今の仕事からあんまりステップアップ感ないよねとかですね、この先どうなるんだろうとか、今のままでいいのかなとか、なんかこう大企業入ってベンチャー、大企業入って辞めてベンチャー行っちゃったけど、ちょっと失敗したかなとかですね、そういうご相談も多いので、そういう方々は一旦、例えばインシアードのこのマスターインマネジメントプログラムとかに行かれて、で、自分を一旦鍛え直すとですね、本当にボストンキャリアフォーラムとかでも行けますし、あとは、インシャードはシンガポールにもキャンパスがあるので、シンガポールで例えば GAFA に入るとか、ヘッジファンドに入るとか、もちろんシンガポールのグローバル企業に入るとかですね、そういう選択肢ももちろん出てくるし、日本で働くという選択肢ももちろん出てくるんで、非常におすすめです。で、インシャードのアドミッションの方が来てくれたということは、積極的に日本人の若い人たちを取りたいということのようですので、大きなチャンスがありますし、とはいえ、本当に世界トップスクールなんで、そんなに入るのは簡単ではないので、我々も全力でね、皆さんのアプリケーションをサポートしますし、テストも、一応ですね、GMAT、GRE とか TOEFL、IELTS あるみたいですけども、そんなに若手向けの MIM なんで、リクエアメントは高くないとおっしゃられてましたし、そんなにテストのことを心配する必要もないですし、英語ができないということも心配する必要ないので、ちょっと挑戦したいなって思われる方はですね、ぜひ、まず1番目に、できるだけ早くアルファにご相談いただくということと、2番目には、フォームですね。この下のにフォーム貼ってるのかな。はい、貼ってくれてるので、フォームの方に名前入れていただけると、いろいろ我々からとか、あとアドミッションからもいろいろ特別なインビテーションとかもあったりするので、ぜひ興味のある人は早めにご相談入れていただければと思います。じゃあ、エミさんお願いします。行きましょう、早速。
はい。では、プレゼンテーション始めていただきたいと思います。Jenniferさん、please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Emmy, and thank you so much, Toshi-san. Yeah, so hello, everyone. I'm Jennifer from INSEAD, and then in charge of the Master in Management and MBA recruitment in Japan. So I'm very happy today to be here to introduce the INSEAD Master in Management program and then to you all. So first of all, I think if you are interested in management, right, then you probably can think about your further study master degree can be in the Master in Management. So Master in Management is a little bit different from a lot of specialized master degree because, for example, if you just graduate from the school or probably you are the last year, you are studying the last year in your school, you are thinking about doing the master, right? A lot of students and then they will think about, okay, I want to do master in business analytics, or I want to do masters in finance or master in accounting. You will have a specific subject that you want to study. Then, but actually Master in Management also cover all these courses, but will give you a broader view in terms of what you want to do in the future in the commercial, the business world as well. For example, if you are looking for opportunities in finance or consulting or even technology companies or other corporate sectors like healthcare or energy, oil and gas companies, the Master in Management degree can also open the doors for you. So these are some of the opportunities that our INSEAD Master in Management students in the last 2 intakes that they got the offers from these companies in different parts of the world. For example, we have a lot of students getting offers from McKinsey, BCG, Bain, or other consulting firms, not just in one country, a lot of them in UK, and there's some of them in other European countries like Germany, Spain, in Asia, like in Singapore, Hong Kong, and even Japan. Like last year, our Japanese students and then got the Bain offer in Japan now. So now she's actually working in Japan and in Bain. So, and in the meantime, I mean, if you are interested in finance, if you want to work in investment banking in the future, or you want to explore your opportunities in private equity, venture capital, or other banking, right? This is also a program that can probably help you to achieve your short-term career goal. The same as the other consulting firms that you will see our students working in investment banking in London and also in Asia, like in Hong Kong and Singapore. And in the meantime, if you are interested in technology, right, you can see there's a booming business in the tech sector right now. So some of our students, they're working in Google, they're working in Microsoft, and some of them, they're working in Amazon in Luxembourg. And it's just not about the industry that you can explore so many. I think plus the INSEAD network, it will also open the doors for you for a global career at the very early stage. Because a lot of students, probably you will end up getting a job in your home country after your undergraduate degree. But with the INSEAD Global Network, you will probably have multiple options after you finish this 10-month program. For example, some of our students, they actually getting different offers in different countries for the same students. So if you are interested in learning more about the Master in Management program, then you probably to think about which school you can apply for. Not many schools actually have the the Master in Management program, but a lot of them probably based in Europe. But INSEAD, as a business school for the world, has a pioneer of management education, has been a very strong foundation in terms of the business school management studies. For example, INSEAD is the first multi-campus school across different continents, and also INSEAD is a business school, individual business school. We are not a general university. So, but as a business school, we are ranked number 2 in the world by QS, and then for the business management studies. And number 1 is Harvard. And INSEAD has been number 2 for many years, for at least for the last 4th consecutive year. And then INSEAD is number 2 in the world for business management. So I'm sure this could be really on the top of your list to consider the Master in Management program. If you're thinking about this will be your next step. Then compare with other top schools also offer Master in Management program. Then what is the difference that INSEAD has? So first, INSEAD has the multiple campus, as I mentioned. Multiple campus give you also multiple opportunities in the world. We have full-fledged campus in Fontainebleau in France, in Europe. We have full-fledged campus in Asia, in Singapore. The full-fledged campus means that you can expect the same amount of staff, the faculty member, and also the same amount of support in these 2 locations. And we also established our campus in UAE, in Abu Dhabi, and also our San Francisco business hub, and then in US. So with all this global footprint, it's not just about giving our students an opportunity to learn in this location, but also it provides a very strong connection with the regional corporate sectors and also the business and then doing in this region. So for example, every year we have Japanese company for they are sending their senior executives come to INSEAD to study for the business course. So this also gives INSEAD's faculties a very good opportunity to understand the business in Japan and then understand the culture and what are the opportunities there. So you can see INSEAD's network is really very global and due to this global location. So our Europe campus are based in Fontainebleau. It's just next to the Chateau. So for example, if you travel to France before, you will probably also visit the Fontainebleau Chateau. And INSEAD was actually the first campus started there. And then we moved just next to it and have our own home campus. So it's around 45 minutes away from Paris. It's very quiet, but very nice environments and especially very good for the study. But for the Asia campus, it's located in Singapore. I think a lot of you may already visit Singapore before. So it's like any other modern city, but Singapore is at a very strategic location in Asia. So you will see a lot of companies. The Asia hub is actually located in Singapore. Then this, of course, also gives a lot of good opportunities for our students to look for, explore different job opportunities in Singapore across different industries. And INSEAD's location is very strategic in Singapore. It's right on top of one of the subway stations. So it's very convenient to go to the town center or connect with the tech companies in Singapore. For example, it's 15 minutes away from the financial centers in Singapore. And right next to INSEAD, there are a lot of companies like Apple is here, the headquarters is here, and also a lot of startup is also across the street. And our campus in Middle East is at Abu Dhabi, and a lot of our executive classes are also conducted there. Our Master in Management student will also have an optional field trip to Abu Dhabi, so you can really learn the business there. And for our San Francisco hub in US, it's actually more for the Business Innovation Center at this moment. If you look at the location of, like we said, our San Francisco hub, it's also super close to all the startup, the tech companies, the tech giants in US. For example, it's situated in the Silicon Valley, Uber's, and then Apple, and also Yahoo. All these companies are around the INSEAD campus. So this also gives our students and alumni a very good facilities to connect with each other and also to connect with the potential investors in US. So overall, I think INSEAD have a very global network, not just by having different campuses in different continents, but if you look at in the business school network, as a private business school in the world, we have more than 64,000 alumni. And you imagine they are all the business school alumni, and across 180 countries. So basically, I think if you graduate from INSEAD, wherever you go or you travel, you should be able to meet your classmates or your alumni in that country. So this will give our students a very good network in the future, because if you study in INSEAD, I'm sure the Master in Management degree will not just help you to land the first job, but also in the future, after 3 years or 5 years or even 10 years you graduate from INSEAD, you will still be in this community. And wherever you go, you will still be strongly bonding with the people and then from INSEAD. So especially, for example, our Japanese alumni, they're super united, always have a very strong network wherever they go. The same thing for INSEAD as well. So that's why you can also see our Japanese INSEAD Alumni Association. They regularly organize different events in Japan, right? And this is also happened in other countries as well. So how we structure the Master in Management program in INSEAD is very different from all other Master in Management program. So traditionally, the Master in Management program in other schools is around 2 to 3 years in Europe. But INSEAD, the Master in Management program, the curriculum is only 10 months. So I think this gives you the best return on investment in terms of the cost of time. I think you don't need to spend another 2 to 3 years to get a degree, but in the meantime, you probably still get the same result of it. So the first 6 months you will spend in France, and then the whole class will move to Singapore for the last 4 months. And then once you finish all the courses on campus, and you will spend another 4 to 6 months and then for your professional experience. So some of the students that if they still think there is a need to explore different industry, they can do internship in this 4 to 6 months. But actually a lot of our students, they already get a full-time job within this 10 months on campus. That means by the time you finish your courses, then you probably already have an offer on hand. Otherwise, I mean, you can still take another 4 to 6 months and then to figure out what you want to do in the future. So during this 6 months in France and also 4 months in Singapore, in between, you will also have opportunities to go to Abu Dhabi for the field trip, or China for the field trip, or US for the field trip after you finish the program. So this gives you a very good international exposure in just 1 year. So I think the experience and the exposure is not just for you to get a degree or get a job, but really help you to open your mind to see what are the opportunities in the world and what are the opportunities actually you can consider or you can explore that you never think about before. Right. So, for example, a lot of our students that they never think that they want to work in UAE, in Dubai or something, but eventually, and then they get a great offers in UAE, and also they figure out there's no tax in UAE. So that means your income will be really pretty much higher. Like, for example, if you get a consulting job in UAE, your salary as a new fresh graduate student, you can come up to $80,000 a year without paying any tax. So I think this is also some insight you will get when you travel to different countries to understand the business. But as the students from Japan, how different that you study in Japan undergraduate degree and study in INSEAD, even probably your major already is like business administration in undergraduate, or probably is accounting in undergraduate. So this is a good comparison that drafted by our Japanese students. So they make a comparison that from the academic part. So even you also study business management before that in Japan. So there are still university, for example, University of Tokyo or Kyoto University. So the courses are actually completely taught in Japanese, but there are also some international schools in Japan that their courses anyway taught in English, right? But in terms of the subject, a lot of undergraduate degree are still focused on the basic knowledge of business. It's an overview about the business. But in INSEAD, the Master in Management program, even you see there are a lot of courses and then based in accounting, finance, or marketing, it will really focus on how you are able to apply this knowledge to the real practice. Because every module you will need to work with the real companies and then to do the practical session and then to see if you are able to help the company to solve this problem. And also during the study part, you will group with your study group. So in a very diverse environments, that means you really need to have the full engagement. The full engagement is not that, okay, I sit there, I just listen to the professors. So you really require you to engage a lot. You need to voice out, you need to participate in the class discussion. This is the way that how you become more confident about your knowledge, and also you learn from your peers that what they know and what's the difference that when it comes to different culture background, even from the same industry. And in terms of the soft skill, so probably in college, you already learn about critical thinking. But in INSEAD, in such an international environment, it also trains a lot for your teamwork skill. And this teamwork skill is not the same as that when you study in Japan, because probably around you, a lot of your classmates are Japanese, right? So the teamwork skill is very much about you just work with the students or your friends from the similar culture. But in INSEAD, your group can be someone from US, someone from Germany, someone from Africa, someone from in Singapore. So this actually already creates a lot of difference when you look at the same case. So how you work with people in the same group, it really requires you a lot of people, the interpersonal skill in a diverse community. So this gives you solid soft skills when you need to work in a multinational companies in the future, no matter in Japan or you work overseas outside of Japan. And as the students, of course, as I mentioned, that in Japan, you will have a lot more Japanese students, and there will be a majority and also a dominant culture. But in INSEAD, it's very different from even you study in US school. So you probably will feel that there's a dominant culture, the US culture. But in INSEAD, there's no dominant culture. Everyone is a minority. So that's also help you to be very confident when you speak up, because everyone has their own essence. So you don't feel any difference that when you need to speak up and share your views and share your cultures. So we also encourage everyone to share their own culture, and also, but in the meantime, be culturally sensitive, right? And how you can picture yourself in the INSEAD 10 months of very intensive Master in Management curriculum. So this is a timetable of every day in a week. For example, it will be a very intensive 10 months, but you will see that in terms of like academic, the classes, there will be financial accounting, marketing, data science, sometimes they're AI. So every courses will be around 1.5 hours. So it will not be very long. So, but it will need you full engagement about you have to speak up, you have to participate in the discussion. But then, and then you have a lunch break, and then you do your pre-reading. Every day, I'm sure you have some group work together with your study group. And at night, and then there will be different not just party, and then your social network, and then with your classmate or alumni, right? But in the meantime, it's not just about study. So every week you will have career development centers activities to help you to prepare yourself to look for a job in different industries and across different countries. So you will see that there are a lot of different workshops just for career, like CV workshops, interview workshops, and also consulting is for case cracking workshops. And also there are a lot of different types of events happening, like the company's information session. And like, for example, the program starts in August, but by November, our students probably already meet with 40, 50 companies, and then for their recruitment. Right. And at the end, after the program, as I mentioned, you will have some field trip. During the program, you can go to Abu Dhabi. And then after you finish 10 months curriculum, you have the chance to go to San Francisco Hub for 1 week's field trip. So there you will also have some classes, but most important is also connecting with the alumni there, and also the potential employers there. So when it comes to career development, there will be a very structured process that we will have company boot camps, and also there are job portals to launch all the opportunities for our Master in Management students. In the meantime, there are a mentorship program between MBA and Master in Management, so that you kind of get experience and advice from more senior students from INSEAD. So of course, as I mentioned, different workshop. So that's why you can see that the results of our INSEAD Master in Management is really excellent. So there's no dominant countries or industries where our students working in. Again, I mean, our students getting different offers across different industries in different countries as well. So it doesn't mean that you study in France or you study in Singapore, you can only look for jobs in France and Singapore. Our students are actually getting offers from all different types of countries. It's at least, I think, 30, 40 countries that our students get, and then after their Master in Management. Right. Here is a very good indicators about the salary package that you can expect from INSEAD Master in Management. So as I mentioned, some countries and the job in consulting probably can be higher. Like if you get the offer from UAE in a top consulting firm, the salary can go up to $80,000 or $90,000. But some countries, their pay probably is like average is lower than other countries. So just looking at the global view, these are all our students that on the average salary that is around $55,000 to $58,000. So you can compare that as a fresh grad students in Japan, if this is a good amount of the package that you can expect. So, and if you think this is something you should definitely invest for your future, then here is the requirements of INSEAD, that who we are looking for in the Master in Management program. So academic, of course, is important because you need to cope with the courses at INSEAD, but this is very much based on your undergraduate degree and also your GMAT or GRE. right? We don't have minimum score. So you don't need to worry that, oh, I must achieve 700 plus. So especially, I mean, if you are graduating from the top universities in Japan, and sometimes we don't really need you to have a very high GMAT score. But if you think that, okay, your undergraduate degree is not so competitive, not the top 3 from Japan, then you probably need to achieve a slightly good GMAT score, for example, 650 or 660, and then to prove your academic capacity. But the most important thing is your profile, your essay, like how you work with people from different culture in the past, what type of internship you have done, what type of extracurricular activities you have to show us how you can contribute to the INSEAD class. Right. And for example, why the international motivation is important, it's not about you need to study overseas or you need to work overseas before you apply to INSEAD MIM. It's more about how much you show us that you are an open-minded person and you have a global mindset. Because just looking at this photo, so our Japanese students are surrounded by students from other countries in the same class. And like she studied liberal arts in Japan, but in the same study group, you can see students from Belgium, students from China, students from India, students from Pakistan, that they are all studying different subjects. So that means, I mean, it doesn't matter what type of major or subject you study in the undergraduate degree. Most important is that you have a clear interest in management, and also you are open-minded. You are willing to learn and also work with people from different culture. Right. So if you look at our most recent, this year, they just started their Master in Management in INSEAD in August. You can see that we have 161 students in the class, and only 9% of them, they speak English as their native language. That means there are 91% of the students that they don't speak English as their mother tongue. Right, so it's a very diverse culture, and also like if you look at the GMAT range and GRE range, the middle 80% is 640 to 750. So it's a very wide range. That means there's another 20% of the students, their GMAT is actually lower than 640. And probably a very few of them is higher than 750. So don't get scared of a GMAT score if you are not able to get it very high. Most important is that you need to try your best and also to show us a holistic view of your application. So for the application, it's quite straightforward. It's also online. And you need to complete everything, the essays, or submit your documents online, and also complete the video interview, and then together with your online application. So the essays are important, and here are the essays that we want to understand, and then from you. So if you look at every question, it's not a very long essay. So every question is only 200 words or 40 words, 100 words. I think it's not difficult for you to write down your story, but most important is that how you are able to show us who you are as a person. Not just about how good you study, how good you work, but also what's your interest. We really want to understand you if you have a well-rounded profile, right? What type of passions you have, what really motivates you, right, to do this INSEAD Master in Management. And in the meantime, I think so for every intake for Master in Management, we have 5 rounds. So you don't need to worry about, okay, which round will probably have a better chance. Every round is the same in terms of admissions ratio. But if you do want to apply for scholarships, right, then do submit in the first 3 rounds. The first 3 rounds that will have more scholarships allocated. So for example, if you haven't done your GMAT or GRE right now, you still have, 5 to 6 months and then to prepare for your GMAT, and also probably then you can target the round 3. Also, for example, if you don't want to wait for so long time, I would suggest that you can schedule a GMAT test probably in 1 or 2 months to get the first GMAT score. Because once you have a GMAT score, no matter how much is it, you can already complete your application. If we see your profile is very good, you have the potential fit to INSEAD, but it's just we still have concern on your GMAT or GRE or your academic background, we will still ask you to retake it. So we will not directly reject your application, right? So do take the action, and then so that you are able to submit your application by the round. And I know a lot of you will probably want to know like how you can finance your study. So first of all, I think for INSEAD, the Master in Management program is already very short. So instead of 2 to 3 years, you only need to spend 10 months on campus. This will already help you to save a lot in terms of living and travel expenses. And in the meantime, we do have scholarships and then provided to the very good students. So around 30 to 40% of the class will receive scholarships. So it's all merit-based. As long as you submit in the first 3 rounds, and then we will consider if you are able to have a merit scholarship, right? And if you submit in other rounds, if you really have the need to really let us know that you need probably the finance support or assistance, you can still reach out to our financing team to see if there are any MIM and then fellowship that you can apply for. But majority of the students will also consider their own savings, the family support, and also the funding, external funding sources from Prodigy Finance or Brain Capital that you can explore. So they will give out the loan and then based on the offer that you get. So that's why when you consider how much you need to invest for your future, and also when you look at the average expected salary that you can get after the Master in Management, I'm sure you will probably see that it's quite correlated and also aligned. So that's why I think most important, you need to take action if you really want to take this on and to explore the global career opportunities after 10 months, right? And my presentation will just end here, and any questions that you can let me know, I can answer from there. Thank you, Amy and Toshi-san.
Yeah, thank you for a great presentation. We have a lot of questions from audience. So let's move on to the Q&A session. じゃあちょっとご質問を結構いただいているので、そちらをお答えしていってから、スライドを振り返りつついきたいと思います。まずですね、フランスとシンガポールのキャンパス、両方で学ぶとかもできるのでしょうかということで、多分両方で学ぶようなプログラムになってたと思うんですけど、ちょっと聞いていきますね。The first question is regarding the campus location. So according to your slides, could students study at both the Fontainebleau and Singapore campus?
Yeah, so actually for the Master in Management program, and then the program structure, the way is that the whole class will start the program from Fontainebleau campus first. So the first 6 months, and then you will study in Fontainebleau in France. So for P1, P2, P3, and then P4, P5, the whole class will travel to Singapore. So P4, that means you start in August, and then the next year, end of February, you will travel to Singapore. You will start the classes in Singapore around early March.
Thank you. なので、もともと、最初にフランスのフォンテンブローのキャンパスで、半分ぐらいですかね。5ヶ月ぐらい ?5 ヶ月もないか。3ヶ月とかやって、そこからシンガポールのキャンパスに行ってっていう作りになってるんですね。で、後半のシンガポールにいるときに、チャイナとかサンフランシスコとか、他のキャンパスに行く、一定期間行く機会もあるということですかね。はい。ありがとうございます。では次ですね。お話ありがとうございます。在学期間中に企業でインターンをする機会、夏休みなどはあるのでしょうかということですね。はい、ありがとうございます。So the next question is the internship during the program. So if there any opportunity to do an intern at a company during the program, for example, so summer internship during the vacation.
Okay, so because the INSEAD program is very intensive, so basically you start in August and you finish all the classes and then by end of June, right? So during the program, for sure, you won't have any time to do any internship. but that doesn't really affect the recruitment results. So for example, as I mentioned, a lot of students, they still already get the full-time offer during the program, this 10 months. And also some of them, they will probably get the internship offers that they will start doing it in July and August after you complete the whole courses at the INSEAD. But because you will receive your degree in December, so actually from July to December, these 6 months, you can still do internship. It's a full-time internship, which it makes more sense. So altogether, even you need to do an internship after these 10-month courses, it will just cost you 1 year or a little bit more than 1 year. Instead of taking another 2 to 3 years to complete a master degree.
Thank you. なので、もともと8月入学で6月の卒業になるので、いわゆる長期の夏休みみたいなものはないので、夏季インターンというのはフルタイムでするっていうのは難しいみたいなんですけど、大体皆さんその10ヶ月の中でフルタイムオファーをゲットしてるっていう、先ほどのお話、プレゼンテーションにもあったんですけど、ということですかね。で、その卒業した後に一応、スライド7月以降に4ヶ月とか6ヶ月とかのインターンシップの期間とかもあるんですけど、基本的に皆さん10ヶ月在学中にもうジョブオファーを取ってしまうので、あまりインターンをする人はいないっていう感じですかね。はい。
これはあれですね、一気に、要は MBA の1年生の MBA と同じプログラムなんで、その間にプログラムをやって、で、あとはそれこそ、就職活動もして、で、あと、ボストンキャリアフォーラムとかも普通にこの間に、8月スタートだから、9月、10月、今ちょうどね、皆さんボスキャリガンガンやってますけども、やってオファーを取ったら、ボスキャリでもそうですし、他のところでもサマーインターンは来年夏っていうことになる。もしくは本採用そのまま内定もらえたりするので、投資銀行とか、そこそこ長いインターンとかあると思うんですけど、そういう場合は、まさにアドミッションの方言われたように、この7月終わってから、インターンをいくつかやって、で、そのまま入社するっていう、そういう形になると思いますね。集中してるから、無駄がなくていいよね。
本当ですよね。大学卒業でも若手の方でもいいですけど、10ヶ月なんて、もっと勉強したいっていう方もいるかもしれないですけど、結構あっという間なんで、サクッと、入るのはもちろん簡単じゃないと思いますけど、サクッと10ヶ月行って卒業して、さっきちょっとこのスライド始まる前にもアドミッションの方と話してたんですけれど、その卒業後のサラリー、さっき表に出てましたけど、最近やっぱりサラリー上がってるので、今年卒業の方とかは、そのコンサルに入って、8万ドルとかって言ってたので、US でですね。軽く多分1000万とかを新卒、ないしは若手1年目ぐらいで超えてくるので、ぜひ行かれたらいいと思いますよね。はい。じゃあ次の質問ですね。学生の方はどこに住みますか？どのぐらいのリビングコストでしょうか？寮もありますか？というご質問ですね。ありがとうございます。So the next question is about a student life. So where will the students live in? So is there like a student housing or such support? And could you tell us the cost of living?
Okay, so for INSEAD, so we don't have any on-campus housing because I think the students will move from France to Singapore, but majority of the students that they will just rent the apartments together next to the campus, and you don't need to worry about how to source the houses or apartment because INSEAD is already there for 60 years and in Singapore 20 years. So before you come to the campus, and then usually 2 months before the program start, the program management team will already share a lot of information with the students, what type of the house resources, and then are there in Fontainebleau. And when you come to Singapore before that, you will have the information that how to rent the apartment in Singapore, right? And also our students will have different groups together to see who you want to share the apartments with. You can rent the apartments together. Yeah, so there will be a lot of information shared with the students. And in terms of the cost of living, So from our side, we give estimated living expenses is around 2,000 to 2,500 euro per month in Singapore and also in Fontainebleau. But of course, I mean, everyone's living, the standard of living is very different. Sometimes some students think this is too high. They don't need to spend so much. But some students probably that they think that it's too less because they also travel a lot or they drink a lot, and then they will probably spend more, right? But if on average, I would say you can budget around 20 to 25,000 euro for the entire program.
Thank you. なので、寮というものはない。シンガポールと、フランスとキャンパスも変わったりするので、そのオンキャンパスの寮はないんですけど、基本的に皆さんキャンパスの近くにアパートメントとかを借りてシェアして住んでいるということですね。であとは、リビングコストはだいたい月に2000とか2500ユーロということなので、為替にもよりますけれども、今だとどうですかね。20、30万前後ぐらいっていう感じですかね、月の。
25から30万ぐらいじゃないですかね。
はい。なので、そんなにすごい高いというわけでもなく、大体、皆さん、寮があっても結構アパートメントシェアとかしてる人もいますよね。
だから普通に多分リビングコストで、そのシンガポールとかフランスとかなんで15万とか、10から15で、あと食費とかもろもろ込みで10とか、そこら辺なんで、大体25万から30万のレンジっていうのは、だとかなって、どこでもそれぐらいかかりますね。
そうですね。はい、ありがとうございます。では次ですね。INSEADは MBA プログラムもあると思いますが、MBA の学生の方と同じ授業を取ったり、ネットワーキングの機会はあるんでしょうかということですね。So you have also an MBA program in INSEAD. Are there any opportunities for a student to take classes with MBA students and network with them?
So actually at INSEAD, and then we don't have classes mixed with the different programs because we believe that when you study in the same class, you need to study with someone that have similar experience with you, and then you will get the most out of it, right? Because you share a lot of the similar experience, and when you communicate, and then you also have a better understanding about what your classmates are talking about. But the good thing in INSEAD is that the faculties are all the same. So the same faculty actually teaching Master in Management program, same faculty teaching MBA, and also same faculty teaching EMBA, the executive program. So it's not like that different programs have different faculties. So this also ensure the quality of education across different programs. But in the meantime, so in between MBA and MIM students, there will be a lot of interaction. For example, the Master in Management program and the MBA program, there will be mentor and mentorship program. So the MBA student will be the Master in Management programs, the students' mentors, right? They will schedule the meetup on campus. And also, INSEAD is just a business school. And the only 2 full-time programs on campus is the Master in Management and MBA. That means every day on campus, whoever you bump into, they are MIM and MBA students. So anyway, they know each other and they have a very good connection. And on top of that, the classes are not together, but the student clubs are together. So in INSEAD, we have 30 to 40 student clubs. So there are industry-focused student club, there's social student club, there's culture student club. So the Master in Management program, the student and MBA are working together in the student club to lead different events. I think this is a better way to interact with each other on the real activities.
Thank you. なので MBA の人とは、同じクラスは取らないんですけど、その教えてくれる教授とかは同じだったりとか、あとは、結構学校の中でそういういろいろインタラクティブなセッションとかイベントとかはあるということですかね。多分 MBA の方と同じ授業を取れる学校もあるかもしれないんですけど、大体全く同じっていうのはないかもしれないですね。もう年齢とかも経験も全然違うので。はい。ありがとうございます。あとはですね、ちょっと入住さんがコメントしてるのかな。はい。 そうそう、GMAT とか GRE が必要なんですけど、さっき一応補足すると、東大とか早稲田とか宮廷とか、日本で結構こう受験頑張ってですね、学歴上位の方だと、もうなんかそこで勉強できるよっていう一応証明になると思うので、GMAT とかも600点ぐらいで合格できると。あとエッセイが非常に大事だっておっしゃってたので、GMAT とか GRE とかテストがあるっていう話だったんですけど、そんなに心配しなくてもね、入住さんいいかなと思いますね。
そうですね。そういうことですので、あまり英語のこと心配せずにアルファに突っ込んでいただければ、いろいろね、そう意味わかるよねっていうことなので、
そうです
我々が良きに計らいますので、ぜひ行きたいっていう思いだけで突っ込んできていただければと思います。で、実際に行くとね、本当10ヶ月これだけの濃密なスケジュールでやるので、もう英語なんてすぐ上手くなるし、行くことが大事かなっていう、キャッチアップするためにもね、大事かなと思いますので、ぜひトライされるといいと思いますし、もうこのプログラムの内容とかね、見ていただくと、本当まるで MBA なんで。
本当ですね。しかもデータサイエンスとかもね、入ってたし、すごい、ワークワークがすごくたくさんありましたね。
そう、これはね、相当力つくし、これ言ったらもう MBA 行かなくてもいいんじゃない、
なんでしょう、もっとテックとか。
そうね。だから本当になんかそんな、ちょっとこう意識変わるよね。
これね、大学の、なんでしょう、大学新卒というか、で学べたらすごいいいですよね。
でもそういう時代が来るんでしょうね。皆さんもう MIM にシフトして、むしろなんかコンピューターサイエンスとかを後で取るとか、データサイエンス後で取るとか、そういうふうな感じになってきそうですね。これ見ると。
そうですね。
もう内容がもう。
なんか2年とかっていうよりはもうサクッとここでなんか MIM みたいなプログラムでやってしまって、社会人にやってから
その後何年かして、会社で働いてからさらに専門性をつけるためにコンピューターサイエンス、データサイエンス、ファイナンシャルエンジニアリングとか行くみたいな形になってきそうですね。これ見る限りは。はい。
ありがとうございます。あとは、そうですね、キャンパスもシンガポールとサンフランシスコが、必須というか、もともと回るようになっていて、で、あと、ごめんなさい、シンガポールとフランスですね。で、サンフランシスコとかドバイとか、あと中国の、キャンパスにも行けるということですね。はい。で、次ですかね。現在、社会人1年目で、入学時に2年目の場合、MBA と MIM のどちらに応募するのが良いでしょうかということですね。So, the next question is, which do the applicants fit to MIM or MBA? So if I have currently 1.5 year work experience and in my second year at the time of enrollment, which should I apply to MBA or MIM?
So actually for us, MIM and MBA has a very clear cut. You have to count if you buy, for example, the next intake for Master in Management is 2023 August, right? So you have to count if you have more than 2 years of full-time work experience after you graduate from your bachelor's degree, and you have more than 2 years by next August, like 2023, then you probably have to consider MBA in the future. But if you just have 2 years, right, like probably by August 2023, then or less than 2 years, then you can still consider for the Master in Management.
Okay, thank you. なので、今1年目で入学するときに2年目の場合は、MIM に行かれた方がいいんじゃないかなと思いますね。はい。では、次ですね。だから社会人1年目、これですかね。Thank you. はい。アベレージが22歳。MBA はちょっと高めですね。29歳なので。ヨーロッパの MBA ちょっと年齢が高めかもしれないです、ね。
入学時期のタイミングで2年以上のワークエクスペリエンスがある人は、MBA でもいいんじゃないっていうことですね。その2年以下だったら未満か。だったら MIM 考えてねってことなんで、実質的には社会人1年目と2年目の方向けのプログラムですかね。はい。なので別に本当に、このキックスタートキャリアってまさに書いてますけど、これすごいいい言葉ですよね。そのキックスタートキャリアって。まさに、やっぱりキャリアすっごいファーストキャリア大事だから、それをなんか バーンとこうロケットスタートさせようよってことなんで、
うんうん
なんかで内容を見る限りは、まあなんでしょうね、これで十分かなって。僕が今学生だったら、多分 MIM みたいなところに行って、で、それこそいい会社にね、さっき出てたような会社に入って、キャリア積んで、でそこから専門、いや、例えばヘッジファンド行きたいんだったら FE だし、
はいはいはい。
コンピューターサイエンスとデータサイエンスとか、そっちのテック行きたいんだったらそっちだしっていうの、さらに、ちょっとね、なんか順番が変わってくるし、多分 MBA の多分比率は落ちてくる感じがしますね。MIM みたいなのがどんどん出てくるとね。
そうですね。いや、本当にいいですよね。しかもこれ、ヨーロッパでいろんなそのカルチャーというか、国籍とかもすごいいろんな方が来てるので、結局なんかこう、多様性のある環境でやっていけるかみたいなところを見てるじゃないですか、就活でも、グローバル。すごくいいですよね。
めちゃめちゃいいと思う。俺が行きたい。
ね、本当にもう、大学生とかの時に出会ってたら確実に行きたいと思います、ね。
確実に行ってるよね。はい。
はい、ありがとうございます。では次ですね。社会人1年目であまりマネージメント経験がない場合、受験でどのような要素が評価されるのか教えていただきたいです。ですね。The next question is about the admission criteria. So, could you let us know what factors will be evaluated in the application as he or she is in their first year of business and do not have much management experience in business situation?
Is it during the first year in study or first year at job?
First year at job.
So if they apply for the Master in Management.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't really need you to have any work experience, a full-time work experience, and then when you apply for the Master in Management, that means that you don't really need to show, okay, you have to progress as a manager in the first year. So more important, I think, for Master in Management students is that to show that what type of internships you had and what type of extracurricular activities you have participated in. In the meantime, if you're already start working, like it's the first year at job, so of course, I mean, your full-time work experience will definitely add value to your profile because you will probably have more real business insights from the job. So this could be your advantage. So you don't need to really worry about just 1 year, you don't have too much experience. As long as you are able to show a well-rounded profile, that it will be good. So what I would suggest that if you really are interested in INSEAD Master in Management, but you are not so sure how to build a strong application or profile, you can also send your CV and then to me, so I can have another call with you and then to see if how you can present your profile, how you can build a strong application for the INSEAD Master in Management.
Thank you. なので、学生の方も受けるので、ビジネスでこういう昇進したよとか、結果出したよみたいなところは別に評価してないということですね。たださっきエッセイも非常に大事だとおっしゃってたので、ぜひ皆さんアプリケーションしっかり作っていかれるといいですね。そう、次ですね。キャリアサポートなどもありますでしょうか？どういうサポートをしてくれますかということですね。So, could you let us know more about the career support?
Okay, career support. At INSEAD, actually, every week, for example, in INSEAD, the curriculum, and then it's not just having courses every week, and you can see that actually every week you will also have a lot of training and activities under the career development centers. So including a lot of the preparation then you can do from your own side, and also you can join a lot of career workshops, right? To polish your skill, the interview skill, the CV, what you need to understand this industry, what type of skill it requires if you want to get a job in this type of industry. After that, I mean, overall, the career development centers that they will provide you a very comprehensive training to help you assess and also try to identify what type of skill you have and what type of goals you can set and how to get there. But in the meantime, they will also connect you with a lot of companies in different countries and different industries. Some companies may come on campus to meet with the students, but some companies, they may do a Zoom, for example, information session for the INSEAD students to let them know about the culture of the company, what are their requirements, and then you can apply from there. And there will also like networking sessions, and also our alumni, they will share their experience, different types of workshop organized by our alumni in different industries to share their experience and what you can expect from working in this type of companies or industry. So I think altogether, you will definitely can expect a very strong support from the Career Development Center, not just directly giving you a job, but really help you and teach you how to explore and the opportunity in the future, not just right after the Master in Management.
Thank you. はい。なので、通常の、じゃあ、レジュメ書いたり、面接練習したりというのももちろんありますし、あと、卒業生の方がキャリアについて話してくれたりとか、あとは、もう企業が直接来る、インシャドに限らず、結構、MBA とかだと、キャンパスリクルーティングで直接企業の方が来てくれる。で、そこでもう、ジョブをゲットするっていうのもありますけど、そこもかなり手厚そうですね。はい。あとはですね、ありがとうございます。ビジネスだけではなく、テクノロジーも学べたりするのでしょうかということですね。So, is a student able to learn technology as well as business in the program?
You mean to learn the business, the knowledge?
Knowledge and also, like, for example, data science and business analytics and some
Yes.
the basics of the technology or data analytics.
Yeah, so actually, if you look at, the core courses at the INSEAD Master in Management program, you will see that basically it already cover a lot of very hard skills, including data analysis, financial accounting, marketing, even machine learning and optimization, valuation, and applied microeconomics. Basically, it's not just about some very generic topic about business, but really about the real solid application about how you can apply this the skill set and then to the business. And also it's not about the courses. If you look at every period, so we will match the courses, the basic knowledge you need to learn, and with a practical session. So, but practical session, and then also it's the time for you to really apply what you have learned from the class. And also you can see a workshop. So every period has some workshops. So these workshops really help you to use the tools, right? Not about just learning the theory from the books, but also what type of real tools like the case cracking tools, and also the assessment center, the executive slide designs, how to do the presentation, and how to really design, I think, the author, and then use all this, and then the knowledge you learn. So this will apply, and then in the practical session. So this practical part is something so far, I think, is only INSEAD Master in Management has, and which is super useful for our students. And it will help you to also become very good when you really start your first job and then in the corporate sector. These are also the good, we get good feedback from the employer as well.
Thank you. はい。なので、このプログラム表ちょっと小さいんですけど、多分、ウェブサイトとかにもね、細かく載ってるので、ぜひ見ていただいたらいいと思うんですけど、テクノロジーがこれだと、ピリオド2にですね、1にもあるか。データアナリティクスとか、あとマシンラーニング、オプティマイゼーションとか、ですかね。そのあたりの基礎とか、あとこのプラクティカルセッションみたいなのがあって、これなんかいろいろバリューイングイノベーションとかバリエーションみたいなのもあるんですけど、実際にそれをどういうふうに使っていくかみたいなセオリーだけではなくて実践のところもかなりやってくれるということなので、とてもいいかなと思います。なので、なんか多分エンジニアリングみたいなものではないんですけど、ビジネスアナリティクスとかデータサイエンスあたりのところはかなり学べるという感じですかね。
これは本当よく考えられてますね。本当多分今、企業が欲しいスキルを全部詰め込んでるって感じなんで、
しかも
これ学べば、
ね、勉強できますからね。
これは学べば、さっき見せていただいたようなトップ企業に内定できるのは、
迫力が
当然だなって感じしますね。
はい。
いわゆる日本の大学院行くんだったら。
いや、本当にそう思いますね。もう行ってる方もいるかもしれないですけど。
ちょっとね、日本の大学院行く人と、このインシアードの MIM 行く人、どっち取るかって言ったら、企業は間違いなくこっちだと思うんで。
そうですね。
勝負にならないです。
そうですね。本当に MBA みたいなプログラムですもんね。
この前、つい最近の日本人の卒業生がベインに入ったみたいな話してますけど、多分MBB とか楽勝ですね、これ。
そうですね。はい。はい。次ですね。ありがとうございます。ビジネス、ごめんなさい。経営と専門性を身につけるためのデュアルディグリープログラムはありますでしょうか？で、So the next question is a dual degree program. Is there a dual degree program for management and professional development?
We don't have dual degree programs because I think we believe that our own program already actually fulfill most of our students that they are what they are looking for. So basically, it's a very effective program that help you to launch a global career after that.
Thank you. なので、デュアルディグリーというよりも、このプログラム自体が組み込まれてデュアルみたいになっているので、デュアルディグリーっていうのはないんですけど、これいけば、いつもね、ハルトさんとかでも言ってるビジネスと、それこそビジネスアナリティクスとかデータサイエンスとか入っているので、十分かなと思います。はい。シンガポールで学ぶ期間が少ないですが、もしシンガポールで卒業後働きたい場合、ビザなどは出ますでしょうか？卒業後シンガポールで働かれるインターナショナル生もいますか？ということですね。So, the next question is about getting a job in Singapore. If the student wants to work in Singapore after graduation, will they be able to get a visa? Are there international students who work in Singapore after graduation?
Yeah, so actually for the Master in Management, INSEAD Master in Management program, our students are able to apply for the long-term visit pass in Singapore for up to 1 year after you finish the program. So within this 1 year, even you don't have a job or you cannot find an internship, you can still stay in Singapore to look for opportunities. But after you get the offer from the companies the companies will help you to apply for the work visa. And this is actually very similar to all different other programs in other countries. But the good things for the Master in Management program is that you are not just able to apply for long-term visit pass to stay in Singapore for up to 1 year after the program. In the meantime, you can also have the opportunity to apply for a long-term visa in France. So the France visa is that will allow you to stay in France from 1 to 1.5 years after the program within 4 years of your graduation. So for example, if after you complete your programs in Singapore, you get a job in Singapore and you want to just work here, then you haven't really activated your French visa, then you can keep it. But after working 2 years in Singapore, you probably want to explore opportunities in Europe or in France that time you can go back and then to apply for that visa and then for up to 1 year. So this is the immigration policies that in France and Singapore at this moment, right? Of course, I mean, in the future, after 2-3 years, will that change? That it depends on the government's policy, but at least so far, and then we see this is the possibility. So some of our students, for example, Asian students, that they're very interested working in Europe, right? I have a Bangladesh student that he studied in Bangladesh for his undergraduate degree, but he's really want to work in Europe. So after he finished the courses in Singapore, he moved back to France. So he activates a visa, he stay in France. So at the end, I heard he's also very good. I think two excellent, and then his profile, he got 8 job offers in different countries in Europe. right? So that is something that you can definitely explore, but most important, I think, is like how much your skill set can fit the company and how much potential you have shown to the employer that they want to hire you for the job.
Thank you. ので、シンガポールに、キャンパスがあって、そこで勉強するので、卒業してから1年間のそのロングタイムビジットビザっていうのが申請できるので、卒業後働いて、で、そこで、その間に職を得てっていうことができるっていうことですかね。で、シンガポールは、先日もシンガポールに今、勤務されているアドバイザーの方が全部やってくれましたけれども、結構それこそ学歴とか、あとはその卒業してから稼いでる月収とか、そういうところでビザの取り方も、取りやすさとかも変わってくるみたいなので、ハイサラリーな会社にインシアードを出て、就職すると結構就職もしやすいんじゃないかなと思いますね。はい、ありがとうございます。
フランスの話したいの？
ちょっとフランスのところも。
フランスは、結局何言ってたかっていうと、シンガポールと、あとフランスのビザが確かなんか4年ぐらい有効なんで、シンガポールで働いて、その後、例えば2年働いて、その後フランスに行くみたいなこともできるよみたいなことを言ってて、だから、ヨーロッパで働きたい人も、そのフランスのビザも取れちゃうし、シンガポールで働きたい人もシンガポールのビザも取れちゃうし、欲張りな人は両方取れるよっていう、そういう話っぽいので、今のところそういうなんかフレキシビリティがあるプログラム、やっぱりそれだけフランスとシンガポールの政府に認められてる、もうグローバルナンバーワンのプログラムだっていうことがあるんで、シンガポールとかね、結構今行きたい人すごく多いから、一回そういう海外で働いてみるっていうのは、日本はどんどんね、賃金っていうか、給料安いんで、最初からやっぱりもうグローバルで勝負したいっていう人最近増えてるから、いいと思いますけどね。で、シンガポールとかヘッジファンドとかも、GAFA とかのヘッドクォーターとかも、グローバル企業の APAC とかのヘッドクォーター、やっぱりシンガポールに今集積してきてるし、香港からも結構シンガポールに移ってきたりしてるんで、シンガポールに最初から行くっていうのはめちゃめちゃ価値が高い気がしますね。
はい、ありがとうございます。ですね、次、インシアード、これ最後ですかね。インシアードのアドミッションの方が納得されるような良いエッセイはどのように作れば良いのでしょうか。東大とか早慶旧帝大のような学歴一流企業ではない社歴の私もエッセイが良ければ合格のチャンスがありますかということですね。これアルファに来ていただいたらいいかなとは思うんですけれども、ちょっとアドミッションの、何でしょう、評価みたいなところをお聞きしたいと思います。So the next question will be the final question. And could you let us know how do admission evaluate the essay? I think the admission process is holistic, but could you teach us the tips like to get accepted to INSEAD regarding essay?
Okay, so I think for INSEAD, no matter essays or your profile or your CV and your recommendation letters, we want to evaluate it is based on these three things. Of course, academic is very straightforward. It's nothing so much about your essays. It's just about your undergraduate degree, your GMAT, or your GRE score. So the other part of your profile, from your CV, from your essays and recommendation letters and video interview, we try to evaluate your international motivation and ability to contribute. Right? International motivation is about how open-minded you are, why you are willing to learn and work in a very international environment. And in the meantime, how much you understand about the cultural difference, how you can react in a culturally sensitive way. Because you probably have your classmate coming from totally different background and have a totally different view on one thing. But he or she has no bad intention, but it's just purely because the cultural difference that they think differently. So you need to understand and also don't judge by your first impression. That's why it requires you to really have a more open-minded and global mindset, right? And for ability to contribute, it's really about your contribution. It can be from your internship experience that you can bring in industry insights in the class participation. It can also come from your extracurricular activities, that how you organize events and what type of activities that you participated in, and also from your other personal life experience and your interest. So that's why when it comes to the essays, and then these are all the essay questions that we ask you. So first is, how would you describe yourself? Basically, we want to know, I think, who you are as a person. And there are 200 words. That means you won't be able to tell us a long story about how you grew up and then what you have experienced. So you need to think about what is the most important thing and probably what influenced you the most, and then to show us a very comprehensive, but also make us feel impressive, right? And remember who you are. And you can see the second one is all about your extracurricular activities, because it's not just about your study, but we also want to know what's your interest, right? And if you also spend time and then in other activities to really enrich yourself. And in the meantime, we want to understand your decision journey, right? What really you have been doing since graduating from secondary education. It can be actually after your secondary education. It can be something in your university time, the college time, and what really motivates you, your choice. So we want to understand how you plan your future and what experience really influenced you to make you, okay, like you decided, okay, I make a choice now, I want to do the INSEAD Master in Management, or it can be your choice that I want to get into finance. I'm very interested in consulting. Why? So we want to understand this type, what you have experienced, and then how you plan your future. And also, I think in the meantime, I think for the others, I think we want to understand about your short-term and long-term career goal. And of course, then we can see how INSEAD MIM can really help you to achieve of this goal. And if you are doing anything, because I suppose if you submit your application now, before you start the program, there's still like 1 year, or probably there's still 6 months or 3 months. So we want to understand what type of activities or what type of job you will be doing to keep adding value to your profile before the program starts. Right? And the last one are really optional. So for example, if you think that when you answer the 5 required questions that you are still not able to show a full picture of who you are, you still have something more to want to tell the admissions committee, then you can write the last optional essay. But if you think that everything you write on the first the 5 questions is already it's a very well-rounded profile that you have presented, then you don't really need to write the last the optional essay. You can just keep it empty. So there is no good or bad when you write the last one. It's purely optional.
Thank you so much for the detail.
Thank you.
はい。なので、まずその評価ポイントみたいなところからいくと、もちろんそのアカデミックな勉強をちゃんとしてますかとかっていうところとか、CV レコメンデーションっていうところあるんですけれど、エッセイの要素としては、2つですかね。インターナショナルモチベーションとか、グローバルマインドセットっていうところと、あとコントリビューションっていうふうにおっしゃってましたかね。で、なんかその、かなり多様なバックグラウンドの方たちがクラスにこう集まってくるプログラムなので、どうやってその中でこう、お互いに理解したりとか、よく、結構 MBA のエッセイとかってもそうだと思うんですけど、こうどうやってそのインターナショナルな環境の中で自分がこううまくやっていけるのかとか、あとはグローバルマインドセット、なんでそういったところにそもそも行きたいのかっていうところとかですかね。あとはコントリビューションで、一つはクラスとか授業でもそうですし、あとはエクストラカリキュラーで、イベントとか、なんか学外でみんなで何かやる、クラブ活動やるとか、そういうところのコントリビューションが、どのぐらいできるのかとか、どういうモチベーションがあるのかっていうところを見てらっしゃるっていう感じですかね。はい。エッセイのところは、クエスチョンごとに詳しく説明してくださったんですけれども、なんかそもそもあなたはどんな人なんですかっていうようなところのエッセイもありますし、 あとはそのエクストラカリキュラーで、クラブ活動とか、勉強以外のところとかをどういう活動してきたのかっていうこととか、なんかこう就活でいうところの、何ですか、学知化みたいなのとちょっと近いのかなと思うんですけど、はい。とかですかね。あと、オプショナルエッセイとかもあるので、さらにそこで自分について書いたりとかもできますよっていうところですかね。ぜひエッセイのところは、なかなかね、自分で、量は少ないと思うんですけど、いろんなクエスチョンもありますし、逆に、短い中でどうやって差別化していこうみたいなところは、結構難しいかなと思いますので、ぜひ、アルファもエッセイガリガリね、一緒にサポートするっていうところをもう、ガツガツ今までやってきて、INSEADも、MBA とか受かっている方もたくさんいるので、ぜひ、ご相談いただければと思います。はい、これで、ご質問は以上ですかね。ありがとうございます。So that's all for the question. And so this is the slide for application deadlines. そう、なので、次のデッドラインが、10月の4日ですね。10月の4日はね、ちょっとテスト要件とかがあるので、もう GMAT とか結構英語をバキバキにできるよっていう方はいいと思いますけども、大体皆さんテスト準備するとどうですかね。1月とか11月とか1月ぐらいに出せれば良さそうって感じですかね。これからテスト準備する方。
そうですね。ラウンド2かラウンド3に出すと結構合格確率が高いと思いますし、もちろん4とか5でも受かると思いますけれども、皆さん、その今後の、例えば今大学4年生とかは、卒業前にある程度固めたいっていう人なんかは、やっぱりこのラウンド2か3で突っ込まれるといいかなっていうのはありますね。あと、社会人の方もいろいろお忙しいと思いますけども、とにかく点数とかそんなに高くなくても、やっぱり皆さんのそのエッセイとか、何をしたいのかとか、長期ゴールとか、なぜインシャートなのかみたいな説得力があれば、さっき、ね、アドミッションの方も明言してましたけども、点数そんなに高くなくてもみんな受かってるよっていうことなんで、そういうことだと思いますんで、あまり点数がなとか言って、アクションしないよりはどんどん突っ込んでいって、低い、ある意味ちょっと低い点数でも出しちゃえば、後から高い、ある程度少しインプルーブしたらそれをまた出すということもできますし、いろんなやり方あるので、早めにアルファにご相談いただければと思います。はい。
はい。本当に素晴らしいプログラムで、なかなかね、入学もハードルはちゃんと準備しないといけないと思いますけど、本当に、言ったらその後のキャリアがね、もう全然変わってくると思いますので、大学生の方だから早めにもう1年生とか2年生とか3年生とか、GMAT とか GRE とか勉強しておくと楽かなと思います。スコアも5年間有効なのでね、時間があるうちに英語の勉強とかして、テストだけ受けてしまうと楽かなと思いますし、これから準備するという方もですね、もちろんアルファでトータルにサポートしているので、ぜひご相談いただければと思います。じゃあ最後に、アドミッションの方からもちょっとコメントいただいて終わりにしようかなと思います。So, Jennifer-san, thank you for the great presentation today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, could you ask some closing remarks at the end of this webinar?
Yeah, so I think very happy to share the program with everyone. I think most important, I believe that there's no perfect school or there's no perfect program for everyone. Most important, I think, is that you understand what you are looking for. And as long as you have a goal, you need to take action, right? And then you will really achieve your dream. And then I'm sure INSEAD can be one of the best schools for some of you. And I hope to see some of you in the future at INSEAD.
Thank you so much. はい、なので、ぜひ皆さん。
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Jennifer さん。
はい。ゴールを見つけてですね、一緒にサポートもしますし、アルファではキャリアサポートももちろんやってますので、ぜひ、お早めにご相談いただければと思います。あとは登録フォームを、コメント欄と概要欄に置いておきますので、ご興味ある方はぜひ、登録いただければ、それで、全然受けなきゃいけないとかですね、急になんかなんか受験しなきゃいけないということにはならないので、ご興味がある方は、まずは登録いただければと思います。登録フォームですね。はい。ということで、皆さん今日はたくさんのご質問とご視聴ありがとうございました。Thank you, Jennifer さん。
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
では失礼いたします。